Welcome to today's live stream where we look at our first impressions of Night Wanderer. So, Night Wanderer is going to form the core elements of our Shrouded Fable set, which is going to release at the beginning of August. We're going to look at the reveals. We're going to start, as always, with the trainer cards because trainer cards make up the most critical parts of most of sets. So, we will begin with the tool card Binding Mochi.
Mochi Mochi.
Binding Mochi has the effect: the attacks of the poisoned Pokemon this card is attached to do 40 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance.
Is it bad that I actually like this card?
No, it's a
this
good
card's
card.
Incredible, actually.
It's actually very good because think about it: you're already doing at least plus 10 for poison, and then you're getting an extra plus 10 for being poisoned, basically, and then you have like the 30 plus that you would get for something like Choice Belt or Defiance Band. So you're getting the 40 plus the 10 from poison. That plus 50 is crazy good.
And then if you have Radiant Sneasler,
It gets higher. There are other ways to jump the damage too, but like Binding Mochi is super good. And especially because you have ways that can poison the active Pokemon pretty easily. Like there's the Brute Bonnet from Paradox Rift.
Yeah, the Brute Bonnet, there's the new Pecharunt.
Hey, man, Jake, welcome to the stream. But yeah, Binding Mochi is 100% a great card.
In Eternal, it's crazy.
In Eternal, it might be broken. It's so good.
don't ban it.
I don't think it needs to be banned.
Skuntank G with
Dude.
Binding Mochi goes so crazy.
Well, think about it. Skuntank G with Binding Mochi and then like run it with Darkrai V-Star and yeah, I like this. We have Cassiopeia from Night Wanderer.
Can I point out that we literally had a discussion before that card was revealed that we're like, okay, when are we getting it?
Oh,
Like, it's got to be.
I mean, it was an inevitability we'd get a Cassiopeia. I was kind of hoping it'd be a Boss's Orders Cassiopeia, but oh well.
That would have been cool.
You can only use this card when it is the last card in your hand. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck.
Is for me? I don't know how much play it'll see in Standard.
I don't know if it'll see a ton in Standard. I think it will see play in Eternal though.
In Eternal, I think it's a one of in certain decks.
Yeah, especially decks that can easily thin their hand.
Yeah, I mean, and plus the first 2 years, the last card in your hand, just boom, pick it up. Then you get 2 cards. The thing is with Standard is there's like yeah, there's a lot of ways to get your hand down, like Vessel, Ultra Ball, yada yada. But like a lot of decks are running like Mew and Bibarel because their hand sizes are getting low, but not 0.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, because it makes sense, but like I get what you mean. Like they're gonna have like a 6-card hand, the Ultra Ball away a couple cards to draw 1 off of the barrel, or they'll the Earthen Vessel and Ultra Ball to get their hand down to like 3 or something.
So here's a question for you.
Hmm.
So it says when it's the last card in your hand, right?
Right.
So let's say you play it, you grab 2 cards, you play your 2 cards that you grab, you don't have a hand anymore, and you D2 or draw G. Can you do it? Because it's technically not.
So the effect would fail, but it
Okay.
would technically it's a valid target, but the effect would fail.
Okay, I just wanted
It's
to
the
know
same.
about
It's the same
that.
ruling as like trying to use Mimikyu's impersonation, I think it is, or impersonate to copy Green's exploration when you have Pokemon with abilities to play.
Okay.
It's the same sort of situation.
I just wanted to double check on that.
Okay, Colress's Tenacity. Search your deck for a Stadium card and an Energy card. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck.
I honestly feel like that is going to see play.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I feel like honestly this will probably overtake Guzma Hollow and Eternal.
I was talking to Jason about that too. I think it's very possible. It just depends on how
Like,
much the deck
yes, you do
needs
get
its
the tool with
Yeah.
Guzma Hollow,
So,
but
I
you
don't
do also
think-
have to discard 2 cards.
I don't think Ultra Necrozma dumps Guzman Hollow.
No, I agree with that because Ultimate Necrozma has to get the tool. I think we're saying more so that there are a lot of decks
Like
that
in a
aren't
general
as
sense.
tool heavy as Ultra Necro is,
Mhm.
because obviously Ultra Necro has to have the tools so Garbatoxin stays alive. But
Right.
there are some decks that play Guzman Hollow like Malamar Box that
Or-
aren't especially they don't especially need the tools.
Like let's say you have your Tricloaks ready to evolve into Dragapult.
So we're talking
Would-
standard now.
No, I'm still talking
Still Eternal.
Eternal.
Okay.
Would you play this over Guzma to go get your Double Dragon energy if you haven't got it yet?
In Eternal, would I play
Yes.
this to get my double dragon?
Yes.
I mean, if I had to, but
But the question is, would you play it over Guzmahala?
no, probably not because I get Flowstone off of Guzma Hollow.
Okay.
In Standard, I think it'll see play. I don't know about Eternal. I feel like Eternal, like Guzma Hollow is really good.
To be fair, in Eternal, there are some decks that can't really afford to have that heavy discard.
Yeah.
I mean, Malamar Bucks probably could
Now,
because it wants to have like the psychics and the guillotines in the discard pile.
I feel like that card will also see play in
But like in
GLC.
oh yeah, for sure. In Standard though, you could get your Neo Upper energy, you can get your Legacy energy, you could get like gift energy. Like there,
it feels
Honestly,
like a Lugia
I can
card.
actually.
it does feel a lot like a Lugia card to me. In Standard.
I was gonna say I could definitely see this running Lugia
Yeah, I mean, even just the one
because
of
you could even go get your jamming tower with it.
jamming tower, whatever. I mean, because these stadium cards are pretty useful. I just got thought about freaking Rapid Eternal.
The sad face.
It just
Hey,
occurs to
it's
me.
on the red list.
It just occurred to me why. Does it? It already runs Guzmala, right?
I don't know.
I
I
think
had
so.
to
If
I
it
think
doesn't,
it-
it should.
I think it would want to run that over it though, because
Yeah, because your
The only
hands
tool
already
it wants-
It's
usually
not
pretty
my
low.
build. No, not my build.
well, the only tool it wants is what, like
Any
Force
tool.
Seal?
It wants any tool my build does, because it runs Garbotoxin.
Oh, that's right. Yours is the fancier version.
Maybe the build with the Lowland Muck would probably prefer this.
Yeah, the Lowland Muck build would run that, but the Garbotoxin probably runs Guzma Hollow.
Still, but Clover's like so all about that base.
All about that base.
Was saying that it's an instant staple, and I think I agree. I think the decks that are gonna play are gonna probably only play one copy because they come
Yeah.
with minion for it, and in Eternal you can either Lele or
Lapras.
Lapras for it. Probably Lapras most of the time, but it's a very good card. There's no doubt it'll see play.
I wonder if Guardy runs it to find like the dark energy for Monkey Dory and then grab like their collapsed or Semble Sinnoh or whatever.
Getting Collapse off this would be super broken too.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah, it's super good. And a lot of decks are increasingly going away from just discard draw or even raw draw in general.
It's like
And
this
they're shifting
format's
more
really
toward
hard search.
Search. Like a lot of decks are Arven heavy. Some decks are straight up not running research at all.
A lot of decks not running.
Yeah.
Like if what is it? The Guardian decks are writing basically Arven Irida.
Yeah, I think like the only deck that's
my
really
build's not even
running
running Arven.
research still is like Lugia at like a 1 or 2.
Does
up.
Raging Bolt? No, Raging Bolt doesn't run it either.
No.
Lugia runs it. Whatever Miraidon remains run it.
It's not a very common card anymore.
I
No.
think I want to say whatever Festival Elite decks exist
No,
run it.
you don't run
Nope.
research in that.
Some of the builds I saw had it.
You still don't run it in that because there is actually a lot of stuff in that deck that you don't want to get rid of.
Anyway, Dangerous Laser's our next card. We talked a lot about Colorless Tenacity. It's a good card. It'll see play. Definitely get some. Dangerous Laser.
Unlike this card.
Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and confused.
Claw.
I mean, Cloth kind of likes it
Yeah,
Why though?
Mitch will play.
Why does Cloth like that?
because special conditions.
It has to be on itself.
Yeah, but like if you poison their
If you
active
can't
and,
one-shot 'em.
and like they're putting three
I mean,
damage.
Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, or not Radiant, but Radiant Hisuian Sneasler V would
yeah,
love
we were
this.
talking about Hisuian Sneasler V with that card. That's like the only thing I could think of that would want to run it, unironically.
Because that's what plus 200 damage.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, isn't it 80 times multiplier?
Is it
I'm pretty sure it's 80. Because it's like 30 plus 80.
Yeah, it is 80.
Or no, is it 80 plus or 80 times?
80 times.
So yeah,
So
if
that's still 160 damage.
you pair that with Brute on it and you do
That art
240.
is so nice.
It is a pretty card.
It's pretty.
It's
And I really don't
it's
like
probably
that
cheap
Pokemon.
too, right?
$34.
Oh wow, that's more than I thought.
But like, it's still plus 160. But yeah, you're right. That's probably the only one where people would be inclined to run.
If
the
it was
card.
poison burned and confused, then
Oh
we're
my
talking.
God.
Then we're talking.
That's a lot of damage. Because all right, so with just with poison, that's still you're getting to 170. And then if you have Radiant Hisuian Sneasel, you're getting to 190. And then
I
they're
mean-
confused. If you don't one shot them, they're gonna have to deal with that.
Well, okay, if we're if we're talking about if they're poison, burn, and confused with Hisuian Sneasler V, right? It's 240 base.
I was talking just what this actually does.
Oh, you
Yeah,
talking about you're saying burn, but that doesn't poison.
burn and confused.
Yeah, so it do
Right.
it do
Right.
180 and then potentially 210 if they hit themselves in confusion. But obviously, if they have an out, they're gonna switch
If they have now,
or evolve in some
if they
cases.
can evolve, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not good, but it's
not great.
interesting. It's one of those cards. It's like that could vaguely be interesting in the future, maybe. Like Neo Upper Energy, how it's suddenly seeing play in Dragapult. This could be one of those situations where like this randomly sees play in a deck.
Yeah.
And I expect it'll be like a $2 A spec, like Neo Upper Energy was.
It's probably gonna hang around where Secret Box is at $120.
If it does that, just pick one up and have it on hand just in case,
just
basically.
have it. Yeah.
I mean,
Just-
you're gonna pick it up anyway because it's an ace spec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I collect all the specs.
One of my favorite, if not my favorite cards in this set,
This is a crazy.
Janine's Secret Technique. This card's insane. This is
Mhm.
basically, it's Elisa Sparkle, is what it is
for dark types.
for dark types. So choose up to 2 of your dark Pokemon. Sorry, let me correct that. Choose up to 2 of your darkness Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a basic darkness energy and attach it to that Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. If you attach any energy to your active Pokemon in this way, that Pokemon is now poisoned.
If it didn't have basic dark energy,
I
I
wish
would have
it didn't.
loved that in Eternal.
Why
with
did they
the
keep
old
doing
dark-
I
Dark.
love it anyway. Okay, so in standard, let's start standard first because
Yeah.
standard is the primary format. Okay, so in standard, I love this for Arbok.
So is Arbok real?
It
Is the
might be
question.
with this card.
It was at a
might be.
Professor's Cup when stage ones were treated as basics.
That was stupid. Okay, so no. So this I think helps Arbok. It probably helps Darkrai in Eternal, maybe even in standard. Like this is good.
It would also help Moon.
This person saying in GLC, Guzzlord would love this.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, Guzzlord would definitely like this.
The Banquet one.
Yeah, Red Banquet, 100%. That's such a good card.
Yeah.
In Eternal format, Red Banquet would love it too.
Eternal, that straight up just may make Darkrai good again.
Yeah, because right now Darkrai is like a tier 3 deck in Eternal.
It could raise it up to 2 or 1.
Yeah, it's
Very
super good.
easily.
Well, because it's a plus 60 immediately for Darkrai.
Yeah. And you have
Which-
free retreat with Darkrai EX, so the poison doesn't even really matter.
EX or GX?
The
The
EX. The EX gives you
What's
free
the
retreat.
EX?
Oh yeah.
Actually, once this card's out, I think you just drop the GX completely from the deck.
Yeah, I agree.
But this is super good.
I was talking to Jason about it the other day. Like, imagine if it was like Sawdust and you drew 3 cards afterwards.
That would be so broken. But no, I think this card is really, really good. I think this will 100% play. 100% see play. I think just like Elisa Sparkle, this is going to be probably a 3 of in most decks that play it, just because it's that good.
Yeah. I think it goes in like Moon. It goes in.
Yeah, Moon would love it
It
too.
goes in Moon. It goes
That's the
in.
thing too is it also makes Darkrai able to run Moon,
Yeah.
and then it can run Janine and Sawdust together and just flood the board with energy.
My thing is,
Really
I think like Moon becomes like a box deck. Like you run Roaring Moon X
It's like
and
a
the Baby
dark
Moon,
box.
and you can run Darkrai V Star
Well,
as like a.
it's a dark box already.
I mean, but it becomes more so because you're able to do a lot more with.
It becomes
cards
boxier, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you can run Guzzlord, you can run the big Roaring Moon.
Oh, I'm talking about in Standard.
Oh, same. I think it's the same.
In Standard, like you can like do a lot more with it. You can actually run the V Star and be able to get your A spec back.
Yeah. It's a very good card. I'm super excited about Janine's Secret Technique. It's funny, I don't usually buy a whole lot for the mini sets. I probably still won't buy a whole lot for this one, but I'm gonna be picking up a lot of staples for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of cards that are crap, Neutral Center.
It's so close to being good.
Prevent all damage done to Pokemon that don't have a rule box by attacks from their opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. If this card is in your discard pile, it cannot be put into your hand or shuffled into your deck. This is supposed to be a spiritual reprint of Holland Circle.
I have to say though, I really like the precedent that this card sets, and that there is now A-Spec stadiums. And I think if they learn their lesson from this one, they can make some really, really cool ones in the future.
A spec BTS.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
A-Spec Force of Giant Plants with Prism Star protection.
Yeah, here's the thing. Grass needs some sort of support because it's got shit. But
I feel like the closest we've actually gotten to a good grass stack is the meme Dimplin one.
But like this, like people be like, "Oh, you could run this in Festival League." It's like, no, you can't because you need Festival League and Festival League,
Uh-huh.
or you need Festival rounds and Festival League. So like, what deck wants this?
Ancient Box, that's about it.
Does Ancient Box want this though?
I mean, it's a one-off, so...
Yeah, but then it's taking your stadium or your ace spec away.
What is it? It usually plays the Awakening Drum, right?
Yeah. Would you rather lose the draw or this?
I don't play that deck enough to know.
I just don't think it's worth it. And like GLC, you can't play ace specs in GLC anyway.
An Eternal, this definitely doesn't see play.
No, an Eternal, this is absolute junk.
Because Faba and Lost Vacuum are all over the place.
Yeah, you never play as an Eternal.
I leave in Field Blower / Windstorm.
Yeah, and you can't recover it.
Yeah, no way.
So-
Lose a mean don't work, buddy.
Yeah, Luciman can't get it either. So yeah, this I just don't like this card very much. Maybe in the future there'll be something broken that makes it really good, but
Somebody will find a way.
I don't see it right now. Yeah, probably Sander. Let's be honest. Knight Academy. Now, this is a good stadium.
I
card.
love this card.
I like this card too. Knight Academy says once during each player's turn, that player may put a card from their hand on top of their deck.
Right
we-
on, baby.
I was like, can we let my energies run wild more than they already
It
do?
shouldn't be Knight Academy. It should be Beelzebub Academy.
Beelzebub. It's called Stacking Academy.
Literally.
So this is really really good. For effects like Kiram VMAX, for effects like Electric Generator.
Yeah, I saw a meme on Twitter, and it was just a picture of Orangaroo died 2024. Knight Academy born.
So
2024,
Knight Academy does
welcome back.
concern me a little bit for Eternal because there's card manipulation that allows you to take top cards of your deck and put them into your prize cards too. So I don't know, we'll find out I guess. But the flip side is you have a Zelf that can let you put
Santi will
something in
figure
your
something
hand.
to do with that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something that'll break something, but it's a very interesting card. I like.
I'm gonna enjoy this in Maridon.
Yeah, we'll see how much it actually gets played, because like there are other stadium effects that you might want to play instead, perhaps, but it's still really good. Okay, now this actually I said
One of the highlights of the set.
yeah
right
I
here.
said Janine's my favorite. This one might also be up there. This is Night Stretcher. Night Stretcher says put a Pokemon or a basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. If you have not played during the days of Rescue Stretcher, this is not quite that good, but it's slightly more flexible. This card will see play. Period.
It also reminds me of like Pokemon Rescue from Diamond and Pearl.
It's good. This card is super good. I'm very hype on this card. How do you guys feel?
I like it.
I don't think it'll see play in like Eternal, but it'll see play 100% in Standard.
It might see some play in Eternal.
Yeah, it's not
It has a lot of competition.
I just
but
think
I could see it
Clara is
seeing a
just
lot.
better.
Clara's supporter.
because it puts
Yeah,
it in the hand,
but
right?
like, it just does what that does better. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I think I might see
I could build a
something
Lost
Eternal,
Box Eternal deck with
But
this.
like in standard,
Maybe.
this will 100% speed play because Lost Box will love it because it can
Yeah.
get back its like Cram Rinse or its Stabilize or whatever it wants. It's just really good. And if you need a Psychic Energy from discard pile or a Metal Energy from discard pile to attach for return, like you can Irida for this, you can Arven for this. This is,
Is it
super
any
strong.
Pokemon or basic Pokemon?
It is a Pokemon or a basic energy card.
I like it.
I like it. I love it a lot, actually.
If this was if it just said any energy card, Lugia would play it.
If it said any energy card, that'd be broken.
yeah,
like,
we
just
would
straight
be-
up.
because that's that's like a supercharged special charge at that point.
Uh-huh.
That would be way broken. Poke Vital A.
Boo. Moving on.
Heal
Speaking of worthless
heal
effects,
150 damage from one of your Pokemon. If this card's in your discard pile, it cannot be put into your hand or shuffled into your deck.
Okay, so
Boo.
just to clarify it, just because when I was reading it to my brother, he was also wondering about it. Pokestop. That's
It's an item.
well, it
Does it go to
technically
your
hits the discard first, though.
We'd have to get a ruling on it, but most likely, what's the wording on it? Let me see.
You discard the top 3 cards of your deck, and you return it. You put
Yep, it would go to the discard pile.
That's
okay.
the-
So like,
barring a contradictory ruling, it would go to the discard pile and stay there.
I mean, it makes sense that
Yeah.
it would work that way. As stupid as that is, a card like that did not need that wording.
No, it didn't. And maybe they put that wording on there specifically so that they can't get it off of Pokestop. I don't know.
Neutral center didn't need that either.
I don't think so. They're both. Neither one of them is good enough.
If they put that on any card, it should have been like unfair stamp / prime catcher.
Yeah, I agree. Those are both really crazy. I look, healing 150 is good. Not being able to recover it after healing 150 kind of sucks. But then like, it's also your ace spec, and there's a lot of really good competition for that slot. Like
The
lot.
only thing that I can think of that might possibly run that is like whatever Gudra decks remain.
Dude, just don't just run Hero's Cape.
I mean, they could also do that too.
I
but,
think
like,
Gudra would run here.
at least you can't lost vacuum that.
Yeah, but you can just like hit it with Chiyu
Or Airy.
or Airy and yeah, like there's so much to get rid of it. It's just doesn't feel good.
Or you could just cry.
You could do that.
that's what you
Cool.
do after you
This is
stop it.
Power Hourglass. Power Hourglass has the effect at the end of your turn if the Pokemon this card's attached to is in the active spot. You may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to that Pokemon.
Yippee, bolt support.
Yeah,
That definitely feels like a 1 or 2 in bolt.
like especially if like you're going first.
Going first, and or you know they're not going to take a return KO. Like that's just pretty solid because it saves you Asadas, so you can use your supporter for turn to use like Iron or Boss.
It seems good. I think there are Eternal decks that would probably want this too.
I agree. I think that card's just really strong, and the fact that it doesn't discard itself afterwards is incredible. Like I honestly thought that's the sort of card that would discard itself after one use, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a tool, so it stays there.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what decks in Eternal would like this. Maybe Banette as like a 1 or 2.
Oh my god, you know what I just thought of?
Mm.
Dialga V-Star.
It's just basic energy, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need a basic energy.
Yeah, Dialga V-Star and Standard could run it.
Yeah, I could see that.
In Eternal, I think what could run this?
I could definitely see Banette.
Yeah.
I
But
guess
that would.
And you said you already mentioned Raging Bolt and
Raging
in
Bolt
Standard.
and Standard. I'm trying to think of Eternal though.
I could see actually Kyogre running this.
I think any Lost
I
Box
think-
deck might run 1 or 2.
I think Eternal Miraidon might run it.
It depends on how far you are into the game.
It's a pretty good.
It
late
also
game
would
card.
depend on whether or not you're running the Flaffy version or not.
Who runs the Flaffy? No, I'm just kidding.
But no, I think Power Hourglass is pretty good.
It'll see
It'll
play
definitely
for
see
sure.
play. And then for our finals, yeah, I gotta fix that. Our final support card, our final trainer card for the set before we go back to the Pokemon, we have Xerosic's Plan. Your opponent discards cards from their hand until they have 3 in their hand.
People were over doom posting about this.
Yeah, like it's. Is it strong? Sure. Is it broken?
don't
In a
think it's
format where you have more hand control options, maybe. Like in the Eternal, this could absolutely be a problem. In Standard, I don't see this being an issue in
Not
Standard.
in a format where the barrel is as present as it is, whereas Corellias are as present as they are.
Yeah.
Block
Yeah.
Lax. This would be a funny card to play against Block Lax when they have like a 30 card hand.
Yeah, restart. I dare you.
Right. I don't know. Like it's strong, but at the same time, I just don't think it's that big of a deal.
I don't think it's not be
Non-standard.
super played.
No, definitely not.
Like there's not.
That's the thing is like everybody's like, oh, it just makes Snorlax better. It's like, are you kidding? Snorlax gets hit by this, it just loses. Snorlax is terrified of this card.
So, do we know if this is getting an ugly full art?
Probably.
This feels like a card that would get a really ugly full art.
I'm trying to remember what full arts we've seen so far. I think we've seen Jurassic already.
Have we? I know we've seen Janine's. That's all the one I know.
We have not. That's the only one we haven't
The
seen.
chorus one goes hard though. The chorus goes so hard.
Yeah.
I love that card. It's so cool. The
Janine's,
Cassiopeia one's good too.
Janine's is pretty nice. I hope there's a special illustration rare for Janine.
Yeah, the Cassiopeia and the chorus.
I
are
want
good.
the.
I'm
I
not a
want
big fan of the Janine one.
The Janine one is like a generic full art.
I want the
Our
all
foreheads
art
are
for Cassie. I want the all art to be just like a picture of the phone.
That
Okay,
would be funny.
That would
That
be
would be hysterical.
this is Galvantula. Galvantula has the ability Compound Eyes. This Pokemon's attacks do 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon with an ability.
Oh my god.
So for Grass Colorless, Shocking Web, 50 plus damage. If this Pokemon has any lightning energy attached, it does 80 more damage.
So is this the first grass Galvantula we've ever got?
I think so.
I think, yeah.
Because I remember people talking about it.
But that would if it's hitting into a Pokemon with an ability and has lightning energy attached
It's doing,
doing 180.
180.
for 2 energy.
That's actually
not
pretty good.
Terrible.
It's not terrible, no.
I honestly
It's
kinda
definitely
wish,
good in
I
GLC.
kind of wish it was just dual typed grass electric.
Don't we already have one that's dual typed? Or is that
As
this
a grass
thing?
electric type?
is it right?
I don't think we
Not
did.
currently. I don't think.
Not in standard, but
Maybe in the past, but I
Yeah.
don't know if we have one now. But I kind of wish that's just what it was.
yeah.
Because grass and electric are nice weaknesses to hit.
I will say I don't think this is going to see play, not in standard.
No.
It absolutely won't see play in Eternal. You said you think it might see some play in GLC?
Yeah.
Thornton might Ogrepon into Joltik Evolve. That.
I mean, I could see GLC because you could just counter energy onto it. Or even reversal.
You could double rainbow smile.
Not in GLC.
I'm gonna tell you been using it. We all know what
Uh,
GLC stands for.
Dartrix is a highlight for me.
He's one of the best cards in the set.
Dartrix has the attack United Wings.
Hey,
Let's
there's finally a actual good answer to Benetvile Plume with United Wings.
I know, but it doesn't have to rely on a stupid kilowatt roll. Okay, United Wings for a single colorless energy does 20 times damage. This attack does 20 damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile that has the United Wings attack.
I honestly really like this card too.
I absolutely adore this card.
This actually will make. I feel like this will make United Wings actually a viable deck again.
I hope so, because it'll make it so that it can one-shot Zard fairly easily.
What's the guy who played United Wings? Alex Matthew?
Yeah.
Alex Ganafi.
I want to see what he does with it.
I hope he does something with it. Maybe he'll bring it to NXT next year or something.
He'll bring it next year, and he'll bring Diplin this year.
Right. Eternal version of this deck absolutely loves this card too, because that's 80 more damage it gets for the output. Plus, it now has a way to deal with Charizard in Eternal. I'm like, this is one of the first decks we're testing for Standard when we start testing Shrouded Fates next week, and I'm really, really excited to play this.
Could you imagine if we got Battle Compressor again?
No. That card's broken, and Lugia would go haywire. And then nobody cares about Decidueye.
You want Battle
Um,
Compressor back in standard?
They should do like Ultra Battle Compressor and it's an ace spec that discards 10 cards from your deck.
I don't know about 10. I could do like 4 or 5. 10 would be ridiculous.
I think 5 would probably be fair.
Okay, this is Tapu Bulu. For grass, colorless. It does 220 damage and then does 30 damage to itself.
Hello.
I think in a format with Cherim, this would have been really, really good.
Yeah, probably.
And if we had good grass acceleration in the format, it would also be good.
Keyword is good there.
Yeah.
I got my chalky note.
Next, we have Houndoom. I love this art, by the way. Houndoom's
It's
art is
pretty-
really good.
Can we
very
have
good
a
card.
ability Houndoom with the Fire Red Leaf Green?
You're
You
talking
want
about Unseen
Lonesome?
Forces.
You want Lonesome Houndoom in
You want
standard?
Unseen Forces Houndoom.
Can we have that again?
That was broken.
It'd probably be really good in standard
It'd be
too.
so good in standard. Houndoom has Bite for double colorless, does 50 damage. And then for Fire, double colorless, does Snarl, which does 100 damage during your opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon's attacks do 100 less damage before applying weakness and
Those
resistance.
attacks sound very similar.
What do you
to
mean
your
when you
cat.
disagree with everything?
I don't know if he's even paying attention. I don't think this
No,
card's good.
Christian.
I don't think it's good.
Hi, Christian.
This is one of those cards that would see play in like a Battle Academy style deck.
Yeah, like a starter deck or something.
Yeah, but otherwise this is not good.
Also, pretty art on the next card.
I
I can't imagine
who-
which Shinji Kondo would do this.
Which one?
I don't know. All right, so for 2 colorless energy, it does 30 damage. This is suction. Heal from this Pokemon the same amount of damage you did to your opponent's active Pokemon, probably 30. And then for fire, colorless, wild rejector does 120 damage during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's ancient Pokemon. I feel like
Could have been better.
in another world this could have been good, but I don't think it's good in the
They
current.
didn't have ancient Pokemon.
Well, the ancient thing is good as
Reincarnated
because
into
it could be like theoretically it could be an ancient Pokemon counter, right?
Uh-huh.
The problem is the attack cost is horrible. And like, how are
If it
you
was
powering
like
that?
fire colorless, it'd be way more doable.
Yeah, but fire colorless.
Yeah.
Like, I get that Magma Basin exists, but like, this Pokemon already has only 120 HP. Like,
it become more squishy.
it is really squishy already.
Reincarnated in another world with my Iron Moth.
Up next, we have Kingdra EX.
The new Poke Beach logo.
Kingdra EX has, for a single water energy, Royal Command. Put up to 3 water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench.
That
They've been giving
is
these Water Stage 2 some crazy attacks for 1 energy.
Am I not crazy? Didn't Vaporeon VMAX do the same thing?
And never saw play? Yeah, probably. But it was also a 3-prize Stage 1, effectively.
Hi, Christian.
Christian. Bubble Pod. Oh no, is it?
No, it was 1 from the discard pile, but you could accelerate to it. So, I mean, it's not the same, but it's very similar. I don't know. It seems fine. It's just a stage 2.
I think it was you and me that were talking about a Eternal deck with this thing.
I think this could see play in Eternal.
Like with Skyfield.
So, I was also thinking about this in Standard as like a 1-0-1 line in Chinpao.
Yeah, 101, just bust out the 3 Excaliburs and call it a day.
That way they can't be devoed, because that's one of the biggest problems that Chinpao is having his Excalibur's devoed.
Yeah.
Wah, wah,
Did you just say one?
wah, wah.
But like once it does its attack, if it doesn't get one shot, which it,
It
probably
does have a
will,
pretty good second attack too.
it does. Hydro Pump does 50 plus damage and then does 50 damage for each water energy attached, which isn't bad. The thing is, it has to be able to survive people use that attack, and that doesn't seem very likely. Well, there's Ampy very much, which means that you're going to be taking 3 prize cards probably. But at the same time, there's also Raikou V. There's a lot of lightning type attackers that are really relevant right now. And on top of that, if United Wings does see some sort of resurgence, there's also Wattrel.
Baby,
What's
baby, baby.
was it 1 or 2 retreat?
It's 1.
That's not bad.
No, it's
It's a solid card.
it seems fine.
I almost feel like it's a little too innocent. You know what I mean?
It's too fair.
Too fair.
It doesn't have an ability though.
Smile. Iron Thorns doesn't one-shot it.
Yeah. It's fine. We'll test it. We'll see how it goes. Up next is Weavile, which does 40 damage base for 1 water. And for 2 water, does Hail Claw, which does 70 damage, and you discard all energy from this Pokemon, and it instantly paralyzes your opponent's active.
Bulk.
It's bulk.
I think it could be good.
Bulk.
In what?
If you're gonna paralyze their Pokemon, just you run the Articuno.
Yeah, but like, I mean, the Articuno's gonna. So, this you could at least continually accelerate with that.
Yeah, but the
Anyway.
Articuno is the basic. This is the evolution.
You can even shut up. No one else.
Seeing a bulk, Revavrim EX.
So sad.
Accelerating Flash does 20 plus damage. If this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active spot during this turn, it does 120 more. So this is just like Urshifu V's, or Urshifu V Max's.
Can I
First
make a
attack.
joke I made earlier? Or is that not okay on stream?
I don't remember which one it was. Is it appropriate?
Probably not.
Yeah. And then we have for 3 metal energy, Speed Break does 250 damage, and then you discard this Pokemon and all attached cards. So I just don't understand why you have to discard this Pokemon.
Yeah, it feels like it's a huge cost for not that like crazy damage.
Like 250 is enough to discard a stage 1 and 3 metal energy.
Yeah, that you can't like reversal.
Right. Yeah, you can't even reversal this. Like, so you're gonna have to either Night Stretcher or Super Rod this back in, and get your Matangs all charged back up. This doesn't feel good.
I feel like if you play this card, it's for the first attack and nothing else.
But that's not even very much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you don't attack with the second attack if you don't have to. I don't know.
What deck wants this too. Because it's not even a basic, it's a save one.
Well,
Binder drop wants it.
The thing is, I feel like once the barrel rotates, the SV base Reverum might see play as like a certain draw engine for some decks,
Yeah.
and then you could just run a one of this as like an attacker or something for some randomness. I don't know.
Just throw your legacy energy on this, and
It is a nice weakness. It one shots Lugia pretty nicely.
yeah, but by the time it's relevant, Lugia will have rotated.
Fair, that's true.
I'm not a fan of it. It seems really, really weak. I want to be wrong, but it's also got a 1 retreat cost, not free retreat.
If I had free retreat, ooh,
If you had free retreat, then maybe. Like, the only thing I can say positively about it having to discard itself is that you could put something like Iron Thorns EX or Fluttermane in the active spot
Mimic
to
you.
disrupt.
You know what
Mimic
I'm
you.
actually surprised that we haven't gotten?
Hmm.
Just
Revotype?
just a Rever Room that's the different types for each of the team star bases.
Oh, like tarot ones,
Yeah, well, no, just Terra or just in general.
like in the cars.
yeah,
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'll get those.
Hot Wheels.
The Hot Wheels.
But yeah, River Room doesn't seem very good. Hypno is bulk. Alright, let's talk about some scary cards, shall we?
The spooky ooky ghost.
They are spooky Yuki ghosts.
These are gonna be.
I know when Santiago saw these, he went, the Dusclops is never getting unbanned, or the Duskull is never getting unbanned.
Yeah, he did.
Nah, it's not getting unbanned. This is like the final nail in the coffin. It has the ability Cursed Bomb.
Is he
Once
talking
during
about
your
the one with
turn.
the Reaper Cloth?
Once during your turn, you may put 5 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon. If you place any damage counters in this way, this Pokemon is knocked out. So you're giving up a prize card to throw 5 damage counters in play. That's pretty good. But it gets even better. Because Dust Noir has the ability Curse Bomb. Once during your turn, you may put 13 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If you place any damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in this way, this Pokemon is knocked
Is this getting hit in Eternal?
out. I don't think it needs to be.
No.
Because the Duskulls that would make this broken are both banned.
I mean, it's still like the whole thing of getting your opponent low on prizes.
What's the other one besides the Reaper Cloth?
Miss Magus is legal.
I don't know what Miss Magus you're talking about.
From Unbroken Bonds, the one that's banned and expanded. Christian was talking about the Rev Room, potentially throwing it with the BDSM gear.
Yeah.
Having it survive a hit and then discarding itself.
That's funny.
I don't know. It seems good. I don't know that it's necessarily broken. The biggest thing the biggest issue I have with it is that it all does go on one Pokemon. No,
you can't
spread it. It's
Oh,
one.
if you could spread 13.
If you could
damage
spread
counters,
it, that would be significantly better.
whole, like,
13 damage counters would be devastating. That would be absolutely broken. That would be so broken.
that would probably get banned in Eternal
Yes, it
at that
would.
point.
We call that cross divide G.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, I think this is good. I don't know that it's broken. I am very concerned for Expanded. Because Expanded has not banned the problematic Duskull. So it would be legal in Expanded to evolve this on turn 1 and activate the effect.
That's another L for expanded. Another
Yeah.
W for eternal.
Yeah, so Eternal doesn't have an issue with this because there's no way to break it. But in Expanded, you do have that problem.
You're talking about this one, right?
Yes.
Because he's so fun.
And next we have Cresselia. Cresselia has Healing Pirouette. Does 20 damage, that heals 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. And then for Psychic Crescent Purge, 80 plus damage, you may turn one of your face down prize cards face up. If you do, this attack does 80 more damage. That prize card remains up for the rest of the game.
Hear me out. What if they just reprinted Town Map instead?
So this effect is
I would like that.
it's Blazer on Blissathlon. It's Blazer.
Isn't that what you wear?
It's the attack. The first attack. The one where you were hoping and praying you would hit an energy.
This one you just hope and pray you're playing against the bad deck.
Do you have a Sylveon collection?
Up next is Sylveon.
Why does it look like it's all mad?
Because it is mad.
He angy.
Sylveon is angry, yes. It has the attack Mystic Return for psychic energy. Flip a coin. If heads, choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. They shuffle that Pokemon and all attached cards into their deck.
Cyrus. Sylveon.
And then everybody's like, why is Trick Coin banned?
Why is Glimwood
I
Tangle?
don't understand why the coin flip cards are all banned. Okay.
Faba. Or not Faba, Will.
If you want to use Will, you're welcome to use Will. But it's your supporter for the turn. And then we have Disarming Voice, Psychic Colorless, Disarming Voice, 90 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused.
Bulk.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sylveon is a beautiful binder card.
I think. No, never mind. I was gonna say maybe if they printed a good SP on X, this could be like something you could evolve your Eevee into.
They would print a Umbreon X before they did anything else.
I think we might get a whole bunch of the evolutions soon, though,
Do
because
you think they'll like all be in the same set? Or
they probably will be spread out over a couple. I don't think we're gonna get another.
I think it'd probably be
or
like
Evolving
another.
Skies. I mean, there is potentially another Evolving Sky situation, but I don't think it's very likely. It's possible, but I don't think it's very likely.
Evolve
The all
in
arts
Morpheus
would
box.
definitely be more widely available.
Because okay, so we have Paradise Dragonia coming out soon, right?
That's where they reveal the dragon evolution.
That's where they reveal the return of double
the
dragon
next set
energy.
is Stellar Miracle. So what I'm thinking is Stellar Miracle has a bunch of evolutions alongside Terapagos, and then there's like the Stellar Sylveon deck or set or whatever that comes out too, and that could also be part of that. It'll probably be part of our Scarlet and Violet 8 set, or no, Scarlet Violet 7 in September. Anyway. We have Krogan and Toxic. Toxic has Corkscrew Punch, which does 50 damage. And then for Fighting Double Colorless, does 90 plus damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, it does 90 more damage.
This will see playing GLC.
Sure. In Standard, I don't think so.
Well, because most of the stuff in GLC is all evolution, and most of the stuff usually doesn't have more than 170 HP.
Can I just say for the record, I hate this Pokemon. And I hate its pre-roll even more. It just looks so ugly.
Brock's gut hates it.
Blood Moon Ursaluna.
Another Bolt card.
No.
Actually, no.
No? What do you mean?
No.
All right,
actually.
Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt.
Oh, I think you said Bolt.
Yeah, I
No,
thought he
Bolt.
said bulk too.
I was like,
Bolt.
this is not Bolt. This
I
is
was
a
like,
good
this
card.
is not bulk.
BOLT.
Yes, this actually would be another
The
good
bacon,
like
onion, lettuce, tomato.
because this could be a good.
It's Galarian Zapdos. It's literally the same effect. Once during your turn, when you place Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may attach up to 2 basic fighting energy cards from your hand to this Pokemon. So you're getting an instant +2 energy into play, which Raging Bolt absolutely froths at the mouth for. Froths at the mouth for.
The
And
thing
then,
is, I don't know if you would run this in the Ogre Pond build.
I mean, maybe not. You'd probably run it in the Sandy Shock.
Not the Sandy Shocks build for sure.
And then Mud Bite for fighting colorless does 100 damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each damage counter on the opponent's active Pokemon.
that attack's pretty solid too.
It's
Yeah.
not bad at all. It's pretty good.
And for retreat cost.
That for retreat cost also means that you have access to Heavy Baton,
Yippee!
which is just good to me. I think it's a good card.
It's a pretty solid card.
Imagine though, heavy baton this onto Ogerpon and then you have 3 grass energy on it, and then you just heavy baton it all onto it and just increase the damage output by 90.
Up next is Slitherwing. Slitherwing has the attack Iron Buster for fighting colorless. 20 plus damage. If your opponent has a future Pokemon in play, This attack does 120 more damage.
This
Let's be
card is
honest.
just so much blatantly better than the Iron Moth.
Let's
It
be
really
honest.
is.
The best thing is the art, though.
The art's really pretty too.
Oh look, I wonder
Which Shinji Kanda?
which
did this
Shinji Kanda
time?
did this one. I don't know.
It's so pretty.
It's so fluffy.
I love, yeah, it's so fluffy. I want to give it a hug.
And then we
I'm
have
pretty sure he wants to give you a hug too.
we have the attack Smashing Wings, which does 130 damage. Discard 2 energy points. Pokemon. This is very much a double middle finger to Iron Hand EX
I
specifically.
think every Slitherwing card has been though.
I mean, to be fair, that's like the best roll for that card.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would actually probably run this over Sandy Shocks and Bolt.
Oh, actually, Christian just pointed out something very interesting. So, Blood Moon Ursaluna, Lana's Aid.
Oh. Oh.
Put up 3 in any combination of Pokemon and
Basic energy
basic
that
energy
don't have
into your
robots. Yeah.
don't roll. Yeah,
That's kind of spicy.
it's like the old Galarian one.
Lana's
Chris.
fishing. Odd.
Hello, Queen. What's up? No, Lana's Aid.
Lana's
The care, whatever the official name was.
Yeah. That is pretty spicy though.
It's good.
Also,
like-
Here's our third Crobat for this block.
Yeah, I know. They love it too much. Okay, let's look at Crobat though. Crobat, yay, Crobat. Somebody loves Crobat.
Free retreat.
It
Woo.
does have free retreat.
I think every Crobat has.
A lot of them do, but not all of them.
Crobat
Yeah, I'm
G
looking at
does.
you.
Crobat G does.
Crobat V doesn't though.
Crobat G, but not Crobat V.
Okay, it has the ability Shadow Messenger. Once during your turn, if you play Janine's Secret Technique from your hand during this turn, you may draw cards until you have 8 cards in your hand.
Big smile.
That is insane.
That's what we call Fusion Strike System 2.0.
It's Stage 1, or Stage 2 rather. And then it has Poison Fang for Darkness Colorless, 120 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During Pokemon checkup, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1.
And then if you have
Yeah, and there's ways to amp that up. It seems bad, unfortunately, because it's Stage 2. Otherwise, it's not
if
that
that was a stage
I mean, You
one
could
with
put,
that
like, a
ability,
split of the one that disrupts supporters / items. Right?
That's Noiburn.
No, the Crobat. There's a Crobat that does it because I remember he was excited about it for Eternal. It's in one. It's the 151 one. I think?
Oh, okay. No, I remember which one you're talking about.
You could run a split line of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, choose item or support. Okay, so
Yeah.
Yeah, you can run Disruption or just.
Yeah, because that's the one that like,
Because
because that's like when I was like really heavy on the Banette Vileplume, and everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Don't let Ryan have the Crobat."
right, that's 151.
it is Paradox.
Oh, I was wrong. Oh right, 151 wouldn't have it because Crobat's not general.
And then Absol gets another bulk card because it's Absol. Zoroark gets another bulk card because it's Zoroark.
That's a hard bolt counter though.
It is. Yeah, let's talk about it. So Phantom Jack does 60 times damage. This attack does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. In
You
play.
could also run that also against Future Hands.
Yeah. This is like 2 very specific decks, though, is the problem.
You could do a good amount of damage to Zard Smile.
I just don't think it's worth it as a Stage 1.
Probably not. Not without a better Zoroark
Christian's
play.
like, Drew Crobat's the best stage or Gen 1 Pokemon. It's Gen 2.
Zoroark. I mean, if we get Zoroark X with Trey.
Okay, at that point, we'll consider it.
Yeah.
But until then,
At that point, Tor's just reliving the good old days.
I think we would not be the only one.
we get trade, discard 1, draw 3. And
I mean,
Riot is
No.
No,
Literally,
Riot is
when we
beating-
did the first Sunlot deck, you were like, "Here, you're playing this."
Riot is beating via double colorless 30 times multiplier for each bench Pokemon.
Yeah, it would be good. Then we have Malamar, which has Conspiracy Tentacles. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. This attack does 120 damage to the new active Pokemon. If you do not play Xerosic's Plan from your hand during this turn, this attack does nothing.
Boo. 0-6.
This is basically just, hey, your Barrel is my food now.
And then Babel rotates.
Do you have anything to say about this? Other than art's cool.
I mean, that hurts pretty
If you
cool,
like
yeah.
tentacles, you'll like this card.
If you like tentacles, that is a very specific subset of our audience.
It's a very specific subset, but not a non-zero subset.
No, I don't have anything to say about that. It's
No,
just
no.
bad.
There is Eveltal with cool art
Can I just say? Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
by the same artist that gave us that beautiful alt art for Zoroark V-Star.
That card was pretty.
And the shift tree.
I do want to say they just keep giving Yveltal less and less HP over time. Like
Look,
in
they
X and Y, he was
learned
getting 130, and now he's getting like 110, 120.
they learned their lesson from the Yveltal EX, okay?
Like, why do they keep doing this to my boy?
The flying bacon does not deserve as much HP. Okay, this is Okie Dokie EX. It's Okie Dokie.
Moving on.
No, it's
No,
actually very
I
good. It's
know.
one of the best cards in the set.
Yeah.
It has Detect Poison Muscle. This says search your deck for 2 basic darkness Pokemon or darkness energy, and attach them to this Pokemon. Then
To attach.
shuffle your deck. If you attach any energy in this way, this Pokemon is now poisoned. And then for darkness colorless, the Crazy Chain does 130 damage. If this Pokemon is poisoned, this attack does 130 more damage. So you're easily able to do 260. 260 plus Binding Mochi is 300 plus poison damage.
You could easily get up to 330 with Sneasler.
You're gonna do a lot of damage with this guy.
I just keep coming up with a song to sing for every set, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. And then next up we have Monkey Dory EX. Has the ability to skip a beat. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from attack from your opponent's Pokemon, if you have Petra in the EX in play, your opponent takes 1 fewer prize card.
Seems good.
Then it has for darkness colorless, Dirty Headbutt, 190 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Dirty Headbutt.
It's no dirty beam.
It's not dirty anymore. After it's headbutted, it successfully cleaned its head.
You just go.
I don't know. It seems okay as like a one of maybe.
I feel like that's probably that deck's like main attacker before Okidogi cleans up.
I think Okidogi's the main attacker.
I think he's the finisher, if you ask me.
He's a one-shotter. I think he's just always going with
Yeah,
that.
but
I think you play Monkey Dory against the single prizers.
But he's effectively a single prize attacker that can hit good numbers with poison and the mochi.
Mm-hmm.
Mochi.
With the mochi, he's swinging 230 plus poison 240, which kills Bolt.
Yeah, but you gotta find a way to poison him first. So
You have to poison him?
in order to do the bonus damage of Binding Mochi,
Oh, I mean, you're going to be doing that with the Petron X anyway.
hopefully,
Or you can just run Group on it.
or Janine's. And we
Yeah,
have
sometimes it's funny
Pheasantipity EX. Pheasantipity EX has the ability Take Advantage. Once in your turn, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3 cards. You can't use more than 1 Take Advantage ability each turn. Look, this is Oricorio EX or GX. It's the same freaking effect. Oricorio saw play. This will also see play.
And this one has a good attack, too.
Yeah, it has Cruel Arrow for 3 colorless. This attack does 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance to bench Pokemon.
Like, this just feels like a really solid card.
I wish it was colorless rather than triple.
I mean, you have Janine's. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. I mean, you just put a Janine's DTE.
Yeah.
That's taking out 2 Curlias.
Well,
Does
A Curly.
A?
Oh, it's not split. That's right. Sorry. I'm thinking of really Greninja. Hi.
And then finally, we have Pecharunt EX in the Darkness type. Pecharunt EX has Controlling Chains as an ability. Once during your turn, you may switch one of your bench Darkness Pokemon, except any Pecharunt EX, with your active Pokemon. If you do, your new active Pokemon is now poisoned. You can't use more than 1 Controlling Chains ability each turn. So basically, you're able to force a Darkness type Pokemon into the active spot and poison it. Do we run Darkrai EX anymore?
In
Eternal.
if you lean hard into the binding mochis, probably, yeah. Or you don't at that point. Because the binding mochi plus that alone already
So-
gives you plus 50. effectively.
My issue with this
+4.
is it's a basic
Okay. And
muck.
For Eternal,
I mean,
you just put
the
a
same
stealthy
thing is
hit
going to
on it.
happen to the Darkrai EX. So either way,
You just put a stealthy hit on it.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
it is squishy though. It's 190 HP.
That's 10 more HP than the Dark. 20
It's a
more.
lot more than
That is fair.
it's a lot more than Manaphy EX.
Yeah, Manaphy is weak.
Manaphy baby.
Genesect.
Speaking of babies.
Genesect has the ability Ace Canceller.
I love this card.
If this Pokemon has any tools attached, your opponent can't play any Ace Spec cards from their hand.
I love this. This is a very healthy card.
I think so too. I think it's a good card.
Can I just point out that I love the meme somebody made with this?
Which one?
It was 4 of them with a 4 seal stone on 3 of them, and then it was 2 Mew EXs in play.
You will not play an Ace Spec.
But this is an interesting card nevertheless. I think it's very good.
One retreat's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it does get one shot by Crown.
But being able to say no to your opponent's like prime catcher seems amazing.
Do you think you'll
No
see
one
play in
Thursday.
Eternal?
Hmm?
Do you think you'll see play in Eternal?
The Spirit Tomb's just better.
Yeah.
And that Spirit Tomb doesn't see play, so. It probably should, though.
Probably. Copperaja. Yippee. Copperaja has the ability Gargantuan Body. I don't know why you're giggling, but okay. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent can't play
no.
any stadium cards. They can't play any stadium cards from their hand. So if this is in the active spot, it's blocking stadium card placement.
Yeah. People were saying the idea was to pair it with community center or neutral center and like lock it in play, basically. But like, I mean, it still just gets hit by a lost vacuum.
Right.
Like every deck is
I
around.
mean, maybe once Lost Vacuum goes away, I could see something, but
Then they
that's a really high attack cost.
yeah.
And they can just gust around it.
I mean, 200 health's a lot.
They can gust around it.
You just keep your full metal lab. And
They just gust a different one up.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that good, honestly. And the attack cost is really high. So for
Yeah.
metal colorless, it has Nose Lariat, which does 130 plus damage. You may do 100 more damage. If you do that during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So you'd be doing 230 damage, but you're prevented from attacking the following turn.
Nose Lariat sounds like a really cool band name.
And then this, I'm going to point out this Varoom just because it's vaguely interesting. You have the attack Rigidify for a single metal energy. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. And then Headbutt Bounce for 2 metal does 20 damage.
Why is this interesting?
Because it's a good one for like if Revivirm ever becomes good.
I feel like there's a better version. The rapid draw one's better. I know it has less health, but still. The spinning draw, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that one's just better.
I think in most situations, but you got to realize Dragapult exists. So,
But I mean,
in terms of 70 HP basics, I think that's the best one.
yeah, that's probably.
Especially because it also has a 1 retreat cost.
There's an 80 HP one.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but it has a 2 retreat cost. As I'm saying, like if you're doing a Varoom, like a Bolt Varoon engine
uh-huh.
kind of deck, right? I could see running like 1 of these and then 3 of this one.
Yeah, probably. The one retreat's good though. Yeah.
Yes, it's very good. And then we have Achoo,
Bless you.
Fracture, and Haxorus. Fracture has the ability Unnerve, which ironically is hilarious because there is an Axew in Eternal that also has the ability Unnerve. Unnerve says whenever your opponent plays an item or a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. That means Prime Catcher, Guzma, Boss's Orders, Custom Catcher, whatever you feel like cannot target them. Well, it can target them, but the effect will fail.
I don't know why, but my mind just went to. I think Puzzle of Time is fine.
And then Dragon Pulse does 80 damage and discard the top card of your deck. And then for Haxorus, Haxorus is pretty fun.
Axis.
Haxorus has Axe down for a single fighting energy. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energy attached to it, it is knocked out. And then for 230 damage, you're paying Fighting Metal. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck.
I can see maybe this and a GLC also.
I can maybe even see it in combination with the other Haxorus and Eternal. There is this one. That one was metal energy though.
Is that a different attack cost
It's fire metal.
instead of fighting metal?
Yeah.
Why aren't they just consistent?
I
Maybe
wish
it's
they
the
were.
dragon types.
Screw that.
Yeah, but they can still be consistent with what card types they're giving them.
They just fill it.
So
They
then
just
make
change
it
whenever
too
they feel like.
easy though.
Yeah,
Anyway,
because dragon types are supposed to be like complicated.
this is still. I think it's not a bad like for a budget or like a kitchen table deck. I think this is not bad.
Is that a pre-release promo?
Maybe.
We won't have a pre-release for this
Well,
though.
if it were in a normal set, I could see it being one.
Yeah.
Like it's not bad.
That
Although
Kira- that
Beedrill
Kira
never
man.
did.
I think that if this was a normal set, it would either be that or the Kira.
It would
as
be the
promo.
Kirim, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
In a pre-release though.
Yeah, I think it would be the Kirim.
I don't know.
With that attack cost, yeah.
Yeah, no, what they do is they have the Kirim as a pre-release promo, and they give every set that doesn't have Kirim a chorus.
All right. Speaking of Kirim, let's talk about Kirim. Kirim has the ability Anti-Plasma.
Smile.
If your opponent has any card in their discard pile with Colress in its name, this Pokemon's Tri-Frost attack can be used for a single colorless energy. And then for water, metal, colorless,
Good
Tri-Frost. Discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 110 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for benched Pokemon. Look, nobody has dragon weakness, so piss off. Anyway,
Once upon a time, they did.
this card is basically like a whole stadium of middle fingers to Lost Box. Like
Something
it's
we need-
exactly knocking out Cramorant.
We
It's
needed
knocking
this
out
years
Sableye.
ago.
Look, I'm just saying that everybody that says that Lost Box dies when this thing comes out. Yeah, how well did that go against everybody that kept saying Mew was dead when this card came out to counter it? Oh, it still did shit.
That doesn't make it not a big middle finger. Even
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Even if
It's
it doesn't
still a big
actually
middle
kill it.
finger, but like if everybody that's saying like, oh, Lost Box is unplayable, it's not gonna do good anymore. Like it's Lost Box, it'll still do Lost Box.
I
things.
do think that this card's existence alone will make Lost Box have to commit a Manaphy to the bench so that this doesn't surprise pop out at any given point.
Well, then what you do is you drop this, throw it in the active spot, gust up their Manaphy, hit it with Canceling Cologne, and then just murder them.
I
And
think
for giggles, you put Lost
Well,
in
then
too.
your ability also shuts off.
no, it doesn't. Canceling
Cancel?
Clone only affects your opponent's active.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking something else.
It'd be wild if that was true.
But like it's good. It'll see play.
Yeah, and the fact that you can just attack for one colorless means that you can just do it at any time.
This is Meowth that got into a bag of brownies.
This is the who ate my powdered donuts.
This is Iroh on sugar.
On sugar, yeah. On the the buttercream frosting. It's bulk, but the art's cool. Persian also bulk. Art's fine. Eevee, very pretty art. Not actually that good. It has colorful cat switch deck for up to 3 basic energy cards of different types. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
You know, a deck runs 3 different energies.
Lost Box.
Bolt.
And then a Furfrou is also bulk. Stuffle is bulk. And then Beware. I'll read Beware, even though it's not very good either. Beware has the attack power charger, which does 30 damage. Search your deck for a basic energy card and attach it to this Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. And then Hammer In does 130 damage for 3 colorless energy. And that is it for Night Wanderer. Like there's bulk in here, but honestly, it's a pretty good set.
Yeah, all things considered, and like how the set was viewed initially, it's a lot better than we imagined.
Like anybody who's been watching the PokeBeats podcasts know that I was very adamant that they couldn't possibly get this set to sell without something good in it.
They put good stuff in it, actually.
They just made it playable, which is weird because usually they don't try to
United
sell it off its
Wings.
playability. They try to sell sets off of their collectability, and frankly, I don't think this set is especially collectible. I think it's very playable.
Can we look at some of the high rare stuff? Because there's the
Sure.
I like the Petra illustrator.
And as of recording this, we haven't yet to see all of these special rarities. Why is it not going down? You know what?
To use the scroll bar.
Um,
I like the Petra.
yeah, so we have the Petrant.
It's pretty.
It's okay. I don't know.
I feel like it's gonna be super glittery.
Probably. This card, though,
It's
I
such a funny
absolutely.
card.
Dude, that's
Okay.
like Five Nights at Freddy's vibes
So,
right there.
Have you guys seen the anime?
No.
This just makes me love it even more. This Pokemon in the anime, it becomes like a mother to Jesse and James,
Uh-huh.
and like anytime they try to leave the home, they think they got away with it for a while, and then like Beware appears out of nowhere and like snatches them like violently and runs them back home.
This just feels like
And this is like right out of every one of the scenes.
this just feels like you took a nap like on a flat plane and you wake up and this is just looming over you.
You're just like, ah, shit, I'm dead.
Yeah. And then you just see the foot raise up and stomp your head.
Beware
Yeah,
is
that's
really
beautiful.
violent.
It is, yeah. That card's so cool.
Houndoom
The
is
art on these
also
are so
super
beautiful.
super cool. Yeah.
It's just vibing. It's just vibing.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I
one.
I actually
That's
do
good.
love that art.
Zoroa.
Those cards are so funny because we're just witnessing a murder.
Are they all connecting art too?
I don't think so, but they tell a
they're not
story.
connecting, but they are telling a story.
Yeah.
Speaking of, the Duskull line is done by James Turner, who
Yeah.
was the designer for a lot of the Pokemon from Generation 5
That looks
and
like
Generation 8.
It looks a lot like the art on his Twitter.
Yeah.
Because he draws a lot of Kirby's in that art style. That looks like a Poke Beach mascot if I've ever seen one.
Horsey.
Again.
So there's some really good art in this set. I'm actually really, really liking it. But Christian says that the Beware is my chase card. I actually agree. I want the Beware and I want the Houndoom. That's the two I want. Because the Houndoom is just really badass and looks really cool. And Beware is just
It's so
it's
funny.
so fucking funny. I love it. I love
I
Beware.
laughed at that card for like a solid minute or two when I first saw it. It's so
you know what
funny.
your chase card is? The Petrarch.
my,
You just buy an ETB for it and you get it guaranteed.
not the X.
Oh, is that the
That's the
X?
baby.
Oh,
Yeah, do you have the baby on there?
No.
No. That's the X, but the baby is also pretty.
But, yeah.
My chase card for the set is the chorus. The chorus is so
I'm
cool.
very excited to see the illustration rare supporters
Pokemon.
Yeah.
and the rest of the illustration rare Pokemon.
Pokemon wise, I think my chase is the Zorua.
The alt.
Yeah.
The Zaru is really cool.
There's some really good illustrations in the set. I'm glad they've decided to actually put some effort into the support or like the illustration. They've done a really good job with that.
When's the last time you got like the clay models for like that?
That's Yukamori, right?
I don't know what the. But like I was just thinking, like I don't think there was any. in
When's
this
the
set.
last time we got Ken?
Ken Sugimori, what happened? It's they had a bigger budget. That's what happened.
The last time we got it was Twilight Masquerade.
Oh, there was one. Okay,
Yeah, we got Fergie.
actually played against that today.
Anyway, that is all for today's first impressions of Shrouded Fable. Hopefully you guys got something out of this and hopefully you enjoyed our antics.
That's
With that said, though, that is everything for today. We'll see you all soon. I'll be doing a video on Monday where we'll be exploring a little bit more of the ban list from the Eternal format. So anyway, that is it for everything for today. Have a good one, and we will see you soon.